We all look rectangular to ourselves.
Rectangular to ourselves.
B. Byron and Oakley have been enslaved by robots. Dance for your dinner, monkeys.
Houston, we have a problem. Crazy parents, crazy life. That's why you listen to me! Oh, wait. And guess what, fuckface?
I like that hat.
It looks
Thanks.
very Carmen Sandiego today.
Well, I mean, Carmen Sandiego was the original terrorist,
She
so I
was.
figure
She was.
she wasn't the original terrorist. She's only the animated terrorist that they made like a kids game show about.
No, but I mean, like, gumshoes were obviously explosive shoes that the kids wore in airplanes.
That's true.
You guys, before we get started, I have a guest that wants to make a brief cameo.
Yes!
Yep. Oh,
Is
It's
it
Leah.
Is it
It's
Simba? You
It's
sound like
Simba.
Simba. It was like.
I love her sideways face that she makes.
She wants to say a heartfelt thank you to Byram for her awesome Albanian monster.
Classic Albanian monster.
Those.
Whenever you touch it, it sings, and you can't make it stop. And I realized that this is what my life is gonna sound like,
Oh, the best part is you and Amy will be sleeping.
and it's just gonna go off.
Yeah, in the middle of the night.
Leah
Leah loves her Albanian monster.
loves her Albanian monster. Oh,
This is the first toy she's actually like interacted with.
No way, that's so cool. I'm glad.
It's so creepy.
it's so creepy.
But Byram, thank you. It's very thoughtful.
My pleasure.
That dog is definitely transgender.
So they have one.
Have a gender.
No,
It
is
transcends gender.
because they just
That's why it's called transgender.
came
right.
out with the girl version because they only had the boy version. Like I got my niece that one and she loved it, and then when I saw that finally had a girl one, which was basically just the guy one with ribbons on its ears,
Yeah.
I was like, we're gonna get this one.
Which is, I mean, what are girls really? But just guys
Right,
with
but-
ribbons in their ears.
But male dogs with ribbons on their ears.
Right, totally.
True that.
Did you guys hear about? There's been a lot of stuff in the news this summer about parents leaving their kids in the car or whatever.
Yes.
This woman had her granddaughter's doll in the car, and she went shopping, and I guess like the kid had like left it in the car seat while they were in the store, and she gets back from shopping, and EMT had like ripped the door off of her car, and they were like, "We're sorry, we thought it was a baby," and she was like, "Oh no, I understand. It's like really like it looks like it's real," and
Yeah.
they were like, "Yeah." So it was like an awkward exchange.
Sorry.
here's your door.
Sorry, we blew your car up with a Scud missile because we thought you left your kid in it.
Yeah, and she wasn't even that angry. She was just like, "Oh, it happens."
Thanks for protecting our free will.
No, she wasn't even thinking about that. It was just like so meek. It was like, "Oh, okay, it's okay. Like stuff like that happens. I'll just drive home."
Right. Like,
Drive
you're
over
gonna
that
pay
whole
for that though, right?
Fly out. And
I mean, it's fine that you did it to me, but can we just make sure it never happens again?
I wonder if it was really real life looking, or if it was the toy that I sent Leah, and they're like, "That's gotta be like a transgender dog baby that we have."
We gotta save it. We gotta take the door off this car.
I mean, it was probably just some hysterical citizen dialing 911 without actually like checking to see if it was.
You know what though? More and more of these stories are popping up. Another funny one is, did you hear about the woman in, I think it was Tennessee, at the Walmart parking lot? Obviously, it's what you do on the weekend night. She met up with her boyfriend. She had her kids in her car, but her boyfriend wanted a blowjob, so she obviously couldn't blow her boyfriend in front of her kids, right?
No.
So she leaves her kids in her car, rolls down the windows, gets in her boyfriend's car, drives across the parking lot, and is giving him head when he's like, "Babe, there's cops over at your car." And then they drive over, and she's like, what's going on? And they're like, someone reported there's kids left unattended in a parking lot at night. And she's like, no, we're just over there. And then she explained what she was doing, and they were like, well, you couldn't have had an eye on your kids if you were doing what you say you're doing. And that's also a fucking crime. So, like, what a fucking idiot,
I mean, that's just good parenting.
But that's just good parenting. Yeah, that's what
Right. You're going to have to give your boyfriend a Hummer in the parking lot of a store. You have to do it sometimes, and parents got to make do, so...
Right.
Okay, so she's friend of the pod. I went from being critical to...
Yeah.
She's friend of the pod.
I feel like babies locked in cars has just sort of become like a news meme.
Yes.
Because people have been locking their babies in cars for like time immemorial. It's not like a new thing.
Yeah. I think dogs in cars is even a bigger deal for a while. I feel like there was like a television ad campaign about not locking your dog in the car without the window open.
Well, if you really want to make people mad, you can make them like medium mad by reporting on babies who have been harmed, but you can make them super mad by reporting on dogs that have been harmed.
Super mad.
You can make them Sarah McLachlan mad.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, remember, like when everyone wanted to nuke Russia, not because of their like human rights abuses or their like crimes, but because of all the stray dogs that were found around the Olympic Village.
Right. Well, because they were like putting them in those like explosion containers too. They were just like putting big pots over every dog and exploding all of them.
With those like giant metal like containers.
Yeah, like so much abandoned luggage, they just exploded the dog.
just like fur and vapor like clouds.
Yeah.
This segment was brought to you guys by the ASPCA of Lincoln.
It's like the finest technology Russia has exported, and like
that is the best solution to stray dogs I've ever heard of.
Absolutely.
Please put that in your stand-up.
Absolutely. My problem is that my thoughts are always so random that how would I ever segue into that idea?
Well, just don't. I think that might be part of it. Just abruptly transition.
You know what a great way to deal with dogs is?
Like, I often worry about how to vaporize dogs.
Yeah. Or just like any unwanted presence.
Liz, I think you've learned a lot about segueing by doing this podcast for.
That's true. You really have taught me the fine art of segueing off a cliff to my death.
There's a tangent to anything, and you just need to find it.
Yeah, totally.
So, didn't you have a show or something this weekend?
No, I suck because I have only done 2 open mics in the past 2 weeks because I've been grinding pretty hard to try and make dough. And it sucks. It puts me in a bad mood. I feel sad when I don't do it.
Yeah.
It's like working out.
Which is kind of like nice to know that it's that much of a part of my life that it affects my mood when I don't do it.
When's your next show?
I'm gonna try and do a couple mics on Monday, Tuesday, and or Wednesday. Those are my nights to do it.
Very good.
And I've also been practicing while waitressing my crowd work, trying to like engage with my tables better and knowing who to target when I'm talking to them and like my timing and stuff. So I'm trying to keep working at it while I'm trying to make money.
You're gonna get that one person though who just gets super angry that doesn't understand what you're doing or appreciate what you're doing,
Or worse, I'll have a table heckler. It'll be a table of 2, and one guy will be a heckler.
Eventually, you're gonna get a heckler when you're up on stage, so you're gonna have to learn how to deal with it.
That's true. That's true.
So
my mental reaction to hecklers is always suck my dick. I have it really well planned out. Yeah, I have it really well planned
out. In a Walmart parking lot. Did I tell you guys about what happened in the car?
Yeah, exactly.
With my kids?
Yeah.
Liz, speaking of kids, great segue, by the way, Byram. Super proud of you. So yesterday I had, and it's not a big deal at all, it's going to sound, the way I intro is going to make it sound like a much bigger deal, but yesterday I had lunch with a screenwriter who wants to write a TV show around me. And it's not it's literally just she's met me and wants to do something using me as a character, and then she's like, I need some ideas from you so I could write this, and then start pitching it to different networks, like Yahoo and all this kind of stuff. It's like anyone can do it. It does not mean I've done anything special.
Was the screenwriter just Jen Savage with a Crayola marker following you around?
Yeah, but she put on with the Crayola marker. She drew on a mole, so I couldn't recognize her at all.
Writing on your television screen does not make you a screenwriter.
Can we grab that as a drop and then add it to our intro? I think we have a few drops right now that we can add our own voices to our intro reel.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. I'll have to redo it one of these days.
She doesn't even listen to this podcast, the screenwriter, but she goes, "So I'm thinking you have a roommate that's a kid." And I was like, "What?" And she's like, "Yeah, like I think it'd be really funny if you're like this like trust fund guy who wants to abandon those roots and just like live off the land, but you're living in this Brooklyn apartment and your like best friend is this little kid." And I was like, where were you going to get a kid to do this?
That's my life.
I know.
So wait, it's the Liz Hall story? Starring
That's what I said. I was like, you know what? We actually had someone we can cast in this. I'll just go on and do fucking, Baywatch. Something like
I
that.
realize it's much funnier premise if I'm a fluffy Albanian, but that is my life.
And then I told her the story. I was like, this sounds vaguely familiar. You listen to my podcast? And she's like, no. And I was like, well, there are people out there living with little children that aren't their own.
That are literally their best friends, and that's not even the one that they live with.
Yeah.
Right. My best friend's roommate, and my best friend's a baby, my roommate's a baby.
Liz, I hope you don't get offended by this, but speaking of you hanging out with kids, Oak, I got some pictures over the past couple of days of our friend Martha and Graham's daughter on a playground, and they're adorable and she's hopping around and playing. And then there are these two women wearing like low-cut tops with like, they're just super busty. And I'm like, who are these women? Why is Martha taking pictures of her daughter like playing around them? One of them is fucking Liz Hall. And I was like,
Obviously.
what is the most inappropriate playground attire? Like, did you shop at
It really
fucking
was very
Seal?
inappropriate playground attire.
It was,
I was wearing a floor-length wife beater and a fedora at the playground. You guys, it's all about getting on the terrorist watch list.
It is.
Just saying.
I feel like
Bricks
I
in the
feel like you
wall.
must be on. I feel like you must be on by now.
But I want to be on all of them. I want to be on the best. I want to be on the best terrorist watch list. I want to be at
I
the
think
top.
once you get on the U.S. one, that percolates around, right?
Yeah,
Haven't
I think
you
that's
been
like.
on it? Didn't you get denied entry into Canada because you're a terrorist?
Yep, definitely.
Liz, you're definitely on it. When Liz was flying to Japan, the day before
yeah.
the day before she left, she realized she had no luggage. so obviously she goes to a perfect luggage store known as Urban Outfitters, and all
the
they
sale rack.
all they have are bags with fucking AK-47s and sawed-off shotguns like printed on it. And then she comes back to the office like all proud of it, and we're like, Liz, that's kind of great, but you are going to the airport, and it's kind of like a camouflagey looking bag, like people might get suspicious. So Liz, do you remember?
You're exaggerating the story. They were embroidered handguns.
It's worse that they're embroidered. But
I figure that guns on the outside means no guns on the inside. I feel like that's how it would have been inferred.
Well, that's what the TSA agent wrote back to you. So Liz obviously became best friends with some TSA agent, and I think we should actually find that email because that person sounds actually pretty cool and they're a friend of the pod, obviously. But whoever responded to Liz wrote, "Guns on the outside of the bag, okay. Guns on the inside of the bag, not okay."
Not okay.
Who knew TSA agents had such charisma, such like pizzazz?
Pithy panaz. Panache.
They had such a panache.
Oh, but then of course the Japanese TSA agents did not have such a sense of humor about it, and they ripped my bag open, and it was broken forever. I still have it though.
And you had fireworks in there, so rightfully so.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously.
You have not had the best airport luck, really.
I mean, I bring it upon myself.
Yeah, I feel like you kind of make your own luck at the airport a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. And, it's been a couple years since anything really terrible has happened. I think. Yeah.
You'll take care of that.
Maybe that's
today.
why I'm not on the right terrorist watch list.
You'll take care of that today when you head over to Logan and make a little barbecue lunch.
Yeah, if I
how
go
will
that dog, I'll take care of that.
How will you know when you're on the watch list?
That's what I'm wondering. Will somebody notify me?
No, you don't get.
Will it be like when I go and
you
will I
don't
get an email
know that-
from somebody?
No.
When you're on the watch list, we will also be on the watch list.
Well, I'm
Not
not.
necessarily.
I
Stop
don't.
trying to ride my coattails.
I'm not on the watch list, but I'm definitely on the no-fly list. Like I get stopped at airports and go through a lot of security, and they don't disclose whether or not you're on it. They just embarrass you. So you're like, okay, I guess I must be on this because I'm being fucking fisted right now.
Well, they just look at your last name. They're like,
Yeah.
Burner.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, there's no vowels in this.
Some kind
Highly
of stand.
suspect.
He's from some kind of stand.
I'm like, I'm wearing a fucking Care Bear cat suit. Like, there's no reason to fucking think I'm gonna kill anyone. And they just fucking start molesting me. Which is fine, because then I just start singing Touch My Body by Mariah Carey and start dropping it low on the security line.
You know there's like some
It's not
mullahs
sexual, it's the
squatting
right
in a
person.
cave somewhere with Care Bear cat suits on. Right.
I feel like that's always the clothes that end up filtering out to like the tribes out in the Amazon. It's like the clothes that the tribes men in the Amazon are wearing are so awesome. It's like a Magic Johnson tank top and like the t-shirts
A
for that they make for the
2007
NFL team.
Championship.
And then like
Yeah, like they make for the NFL
then
team.
like a 1997 VH1 Divas Live visor. 'Cause
Yeah.
everyone needs a visor.
Yeah.
When
And
I
their shoes are made of like palm tree leaves.
those are actually just called Toms that they're wearing.
Oh yeah, those are just called Toms.
When I was an intern,
And for every set of Toms you buy, someone gets a new set of eyeballs.
when I was an intern at MTV, I worked in public responsibility, and people would always write in and be like, "Hey, can you guys donate money to my charity?" And my job as a lowly intern was to reply to these people and be like, "No, we can't give you money." But then my job on top of that was to go into our swag closet and find stuff that we could send to them, you know, in lieu of a monetary donation. And it was always like stuff from like 1995 or 1996, like a Kurt Loder pin or whatever. And I was like, this is like the fucking worst. Like, not only we're telling them we're not giving them money, we're giving them clutter that they can't even fucking,
right.
that they have to throw out, you know?
Without expend effort to divest themselves of
Right. And then you can't even recycle it, because like Kurt Loder is like part plastic, part fucking dick cheese, part fucking like, I don't know. Like, and then they had like a template that I used to have to like customize, and it's like, and the reason I brought up Divas Live was because we had all these sweatshirts that were like the Divas Live, and they had all like the divas on them, and they were like white sweatshirts, and I'd be like, oh, we can't give you money for this cancer charity, but you can auction off this sweatshirt. Just like, every time I put my name on it, I was like, fuck, like people are gonna wish fucking whatever their charity is raising money for, they're gonna wish that on me for sending them this fucking sweatshirt.
Yeah, you're just gonna get whatever the charity is for. Crohn's and colitis, it's breast cancer. You're gonna get it.
So auction means cramming stuff into a garbage bag and then stuffing it into a donation box in the corner?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
You guys ever drop stuff off the donation boxes?
Sure.
Yeah. All the time.
You, like, whenever I drop stuff in there, because I actually drop off a lot of shoes, and when I drop them off in there, I'm always like, I hope there's not a homeless person sleeping in there, because if I had to sleep somewhere, I would sleep in a giant bin of soft clothing, especially like in the winter.
Could you get
Yeah,
in
but
there,
the same-
though?
I think where there's a will, there's a way, because there's a way to get the stuff out, right? There's a trapdoor to put stuff in, and then there's a way to get the stuff out. If you could figure out how to open that up.
Isn't it locked? I mean, I would think you'd have to try to climb into the drop slot.
I would try that.
That would be terrifying. What if you got stuck halfway?
You're homeless.
You
like-
definitely would get stuck on fight. But also, why would you sign up to sleep in a place where, like, by definition, clothes are going to come raining down in your head all the
The
time?
clothes are soft, but the people who drop off shoes, like me, are the fucking worst.
Sometimes I put books in there.
You're not supposed to put books in there.
Well, whatever. Beggars can't be choosers.
Books are heavy. You are fucking ruthless.
I
Just imagine you scuttling over to these bins with your fucking Carmen Sandiego gear, really low-cut tank top dress, and just fucking shoving encyclopedias in there. But
I
they're
don't want
all,
these fucking rocks. The homeless people gonna have my rocks.
and the homosexuals, obviously, that you were just about
And
to
the
name.
homos, yes. Oh god, now my life is over. I just said homos on the internet.
Oh yeah. Oh, you're about to get shouted down on Twitter.
Character assassination. Luckily, my character's been dead for years.
We're gonna get the letters to the network demanding that you resign.
Yeah, 100%. And then my life will be in shambles. Oh wait.
You know, I worked with this Eastern European guy at a pizza place years ago, and we were driving someplace one time and drove by a group of homeless people, and I asked him, I was like, do you have a lot of homeless people in your country? And he looks at me, he goes, no, they're not homeless. They live in the sewer.
Oh my god.
I thought, all right, that's it.
Was he Romanian?
Might have been.
Yeah, I feel like Romania is all about that.
Sewer livings?
Yeah, there's a documentary, not a documentary, it was probably like, because I was fucking watching 2020 when I was like 6.
Mm-hmm.
And they had this like one expose of this like orphanage in Romania, and the fucking kids were kept in such horrible conditions. And my dad's like, "See, son, this could have been you if we never left Europe." I'm like, "No, it couldn't have been. Like this. First of all, I'm not an orphan, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand."
Perfectly good family.
Yeah, and I wasn't ever in Europe. Like you escaped Europe as a fucking kid and grew up in Italy where you're eating fucking gelato. So I don't understand how this fucking kid could have been me. But I've always thought of Romania as like a lot of orphans for that reason.
That was like, I feel like when we were growing up, they would always be like, you should eat your whole dinner because there's starving orphans in Africa. I'm like, well, fuck you, because if I don't eat the rest of this hot dog, are you going to mail it to them?
Also,
Is that what's going to happen to this leftover food? Why are you giving me a guilt
And
trip?
also, if I eat this, are the African children so they won't receive the FedEx full of half-eaten hot dogs? Is that what you're saying?
you're like, you know what, Mom? I don't think Africans like rice with chopped hot dog. It's not really a porridge. It's a fucking...
Mom, boiled chicken will not keep for the overnight flight to Rwanda. Yeah, I've never really understood that rationale.
Did we all eat hot dogs as like a type of meat, like aside from barbecues?
Hot dogs were like fancy. Hot dogs were a little bit too fancy. We would never get like the 6-pack of hot dogs. We would just microwave bologna to try and emulate the flavor and consistency of bologna.
Microwave bologna is fucking delicious.
It's kind of delicious.
Yeah.
It's kind of delicious.
So Ramadan ended on Sunday. Monday was my first breakfast in a month, and I went to my aunt's house because she does like a big like Ramadan breakfast or whatever. Sunday night I was thinking about like what I should bring, and I actually went to the supermarket and I bought those Hebrew National salamis because I was like, those are fucking delicious. They're kosher, and fucking broil those up. It's like fucking little filet mignons.
Yep. Which is Leah's nickname, actually.
Filet.
Little
Filet
filet.
mignon.
Yeah, and microwave bologna was in the shortlist for her name.
It's also in her diaper right now.
Yeah,
Totally.
I think she's got a special one for the podcast.
Pureed microwave bologna. Look at that butt! She's totally pretty.
Oak, what are you guys gonna do with like any dietary restrictions? Are you guys those kinds of parents like there's certain things that you just like won't let her have?
No, I mean I think we'll just try to feed her good food.
I mean, she'll be teething on Meat Buddies in about 2 months.
She will be teething on Meat Buddies. I don't think we are aware of any particular dietary restrictions now, but we're a ways off from that anyway. She's not going to even be looking at solid food for, I don't know, 6 months or something like that.
My aunt growing so my dad's sister had 2 daughters close in age to me, and they were like really close. My parents only had boys, so they were like our sisters. But their parents were so strict about what they fed them, and it was always like this is pre all this movement to do fucking organic and local and all that stuff. She was doing organic stuff, and they weren't allowed to have candy or soda or anything. And they would come to our house, and if she wasn't there, we'd be like, "Oh, do you want some candy?" Because obviously, I was always walking around with a fucking purse full of candy. And then
Yeah.
I'd be like, "Oh, you want some?" And they'd be like, "I have to call and ask my mom." I'm like, "Really? Like, my mom lets me do whatever I want." And then she called and asked her mom. Her mom would be like, 1 piece or whatever. And then I remember the turning point because the younger one was 2 and had never had soda, and I was drinking soda and I was holding her. and she's actually maybe like, yeah, she's like 7 years younger than me. And I gave her soda, and she never looked back. Like, she was just hoarding candy, and she still eats like a ton of fucking candy. So you almost
set her on that path?
Yeah, I think she does drugs now too. I'm pretty sure.
Did you give her those too?
No, I never gave drugs. But you know, pixie sticks are a fucking gateway drug. If you ask me.
100%.
Once you start getting high on the verboten fruit, like whether
Yeah.
sticks or heroin, like you're down that path.
And I distinctly remember giving her like soda, and like she was 2, shouldn't have been drinking soda, but I was. So.
That's what I was trying to get this mental image happening, because you were like, I was holding her and giving her soda. I'm like, well, you should never be giving anybody that you can hold soda. I think that's a pretty good rule of thumb.
Oh yeah, no, it wasn't like I gave it to her in a bottle. Like, she's 2.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
If anybody's small enough that you can hold them, I don't think you should be giving them soda.
I gave it to her straight from my breast. I was like, here, tap this.
Bean, remember when you OD'd on Skittles?
Like what time?
I thought we were gonna lose you. It's down in the basement. Remember when I had that like display pack and you ate like 15 of them?
All of them. And I woke up and we were also drinking like bourbon and brown cigarettes, and I was like 9.
Did you puke the Skittles up?
Puke the Skittles everywhere, and it was Joseph and the amazing Technicolor sweater puke. And then we had to drive to New York the next day. And Mom was fucking blasting the heat in the car so intensely, and I just have never wanted to die so much in all my life.
So tempted to go, Mom,
Yeah, it was-
I don't understand this fucking hangover I have right now.
Yeah. You have no idea. I have never in all my 9 years had such a bad hangover. How's Leah doing? How's life with that baby?
She's good.
Tell us stories.
I'm trying to fend her off while her mom gets some sleep.
Oh, nice.
So she wants to eat because she wants to eat all the time. But
All the time.
trying to just give her a little finger for the time being. Maybe she'll crank
That's
down
mean.
with it.
That's a bait and switch
I know.
scheme.
Sometimes she's okay with it though. When she's really hungry, she just will reject all things that
Yeah.
are not the boob.
I mean,
Rejection.
do you guys pump so Amy
Yeah.
can take a break?
Yeah, I gave her a bottle this morning. We'll usually do like 1 bottle a day.
She's using the bottle. That's kind of amazing. That's early, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
She's been good, and she hasn't had any trouble with like going between the bottle and the boob.
Wow.
Nice.
As if we needed proof that this kid's gonna be gifted. She's probably
Right.
gonna build her own swing set next weekend.
Moving seamlessly between bottle and boob at day 4.
An incredible skill set.
Incredible skill set.
Did you go back to work, Oh?
Yes. So I did 3 days in the office this week.
How was that torture?
Sucked. Yeah, it was terrible.
Because work sucks
Yeah,
in
but-
general, but then when you have like someone so cool and fun at the house, you're kind of
Yeah.
like, oh, I can't wait for 3 o'clock for this bell to ring.
Yeah. And Amy's sending me pictures of her doing all kinds of awesome stuff, like wearing cool hats and, you know,
She does have a cool
sitting
new hat.
around.
Amy's like, I'm enjoying my 98-month maternity leave.
It's good stuff.
Do you guys FaceTime and stuff from work? I would imagine.
Yeah, well, usually Amy will just send me pictures
Yeah.
on Google Chat. We've been Skyping with the grandparents a fair bit, though.
Why? Where
They
Amy's
like
parents are from California, right? Or live in California?
Correct. Well, her dad lives in California, her mom lives in Washington, but her mom's with us for this week.
Oh, nice.
It's nice having an extra pair of hands.
Yeah. When's MGH coming back into town?
I mean, whenever she wants. We'll probably set something up, in the next month or so.
She's probably cranking that heat up right now.
She totally is.
In a cape and heading on down.
Yeah, she was bemoaning the fact that I think her car only was getting up to 120 on 95 on the way there last time. It was like,
True.
I just don't, there's no power. I don't understand the power. I'm like, Mom, you just
So
ran
true.
over a high school. You have plenty of power in your vehicle.
Just driving that car with your mom towards a fucking government building, and there you go. You're on the
There you go.
terrorist watch list.
That'll do it. Because
Yeah.
Mom's on all of them.
All of them. She invented terrorist watch lists. I was telling somebody the other day, I can't remember, because I don't know if you guys caught this, but Sharknado 2.
Oh yeah.
No, we're good. The little terrorist is settling down.
Little terrorist. Sharknado 2 debuted on some fucking hectic television channel.
It's
And-
sci-fi, right?
Sci-fi.
Yeah.
And so I was telling somebody that my mom, I just dropped this as like a basic piece of information, that my mom's fantasy football team is called Sharknado. And it's remarkable to me that she would name her fantasy football team Sharknado, but it was remarkable to the person I was talking to that my mom has a fantasy football team.
I didn't
And they
know
were like,
it was-
oh, is Joe Namath on the fantasy football team? I'm like, you have no idea. My mom has more sports knowledge than anyone on this fucking earth. So don't make fun of her.
She really named it Sharknado?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
She's such a trendsetter.
She's such a trendsetter.
Has
that started up this year?
It has.
Has that
The,
started yet?
the first emails have gone out. I think we're going to try to do a live draft when we're
Oh,
all on the
nice.
camp in August. So I'm
Good.
on to it. On to Kate's.
Cool.
So I think, not to take credit for the word Sharknado, but I think I actually coined it because,
Oh.
hear me out on this, I observed when I was younger that when black girls take their ponytails out, their hair stays in ponytail form.
Yes.
And I used to call black girls Sharknadoes because it looks like a shark fin.
Where did the tornado part come from?
Because
Yeah,
their hair
mine
also looks
as
like a
well.
tornado. It's a shark fin tornado.
That also happens to white girls that don't wash their hair.
No.
Coming from a white girl that doesn't wash their hair. Yeah.
Because your hair is so long today.
I know.
You're like Rapunzel. Are you hoping someone climbs in through that window and rescues you?
Nope. I don't need rescuing. I would probably just punch them or tickle them to death. I don't care what they're trying to do.
Tickler.
You guys, it's August. Do you feel like you've taken full advantage of your summer?
No.
Hell yeah! I bought a chainsaw.
And
yeah,
you had, and you had a kid.
And I had a kid.
If anyone's making use of the summer, it's the Halls.
But mainly the
Yeah.
chainsaw.
Yeah. Mainly the chainsaw.
Oh, why did you buy a chainsaw? I think our viewers want to know. Our listeners.
Why not? I mean, you gotta have a chainsaw. I live in the suburbs now, man. This is like a farm.
You have
What
a
if a
garage,
tree-
you gotta fucking fill it.
Right, what if a tree blows down on my car?
Did you get a leaf blower yet?
I got a leaf blower, yeah.
It's amazing.
What about a snowblower? You got one of those yet?
Nah, I don't think I'm gonna get a snowblower. I think it's too big. It's like too much space for too little utility.
Yeah.
And I could
right.
shovel. I got
You're a
a
tool
strong
addict.
back.
You'll have a snowblower by like January, I bet you anything.
And then when Leah's like 8 months, I'll make her shovel.
Just drop her in the snow. She's warm. She'll melt.
She'll make like snow angels down the path. You know,
Yeah,
like-
just drop her in the snow with a full diaper. It'll melt all the snow.
Yeah, having a great summer. Enjoying the nice weather. Hanging out with baby friends.
Baby friends.
Amy's starting a stroller gang.
Oh, good.
Oh, good.
They're having their first gang meeting today. I think they're going to do the initiation, and then they're going to get leather vests.
Yeah. Are they gonna have? Yeah.
How many people are they gonna have to kill for the initiation?
I don't know. They haven't decided yet.
Okay.
Ranty, New Jersey.
Tattoos.
Fucking hide your kids, hide your wives.
Yeah, the stroller
Big
gang
time.
is out.
You ever notice the guys who actually like ride around on their Harleys in the morning are like the fucking like you always like think like, all right, you're gonna see a Hell's Angels guy is gonna be like badass and like, all right, he deserves to be on the Harley, he deserves to be like a fucking road warrior. But the people that you see on those bikes are like the fucking they're like accountants for like a fucking recruiting firm, and they're
Oh,
just,
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
they're wearing like Dr. Scholl's and like there's this one guy, you said leather vest, there's this one guy that I see on the commute every morning and he has a leather jacket and he wears like leather what is it called? Stirrups? What are the chaps? Over his fingers.
Chaps.
And he has an embroidered leather jacket and the back says the 69ers. I'm like, you're fucking out of your mind. Like Who the fuck would you obviously smell like fart. No one is 69ing with you.
Well, it's definitely like the midlife crisis thing now.
Yeah.
It used to be like a Miata, and now it's totally a Harley. But that dude
They
sounds
kinda-
like he just wants to get touched in his butt. By
It's a really great way to touch your butt.
Part of the reason I was late this morning was there was traffic on, people coming over from New Jersey, but then further down on the West Side Highway, there was a lot of smoke, and I was like, maybe I should just turn off the highway and go down local streets because I don't know what all the fucking smoke is. But then the voyeur in me was like, no, I gotta keep going because I want to see what the fuck this is, because it was a lot of smoke and there were fire trucks. And I kind of I hate rubberneckers, but I'm like a really bad perpetrator because I actually stop, get out of the car, and fucking start hopscotching.
That's how we all are. We all hate rubberneckers, but it's not rubbernecking if it's us. We're just curious about what's going on.
And this
Whatever, this is just live television. What else the fuck else are we supposed to look at?
Then there was this guy, the reason there was all that traffic was this guy was driving an Audi TT, which you reminded me of, because it's kind of like the size of a Miata. And I don't even know if they make them anymore. And he had a hole burned through the hood of his car.
Whoops.
And I was like, wow, it's an engine fire, but how do you fucking, it burned, the hood was up, it was popped up, and there was a hole burnt through it. And that's fucking terrifying.
Wait, the engine just exploded?
Yeah.
I wonder why that would
How
happen.
that would happen.
I know, it's fucking scary, because, what are the warning signs? He obviously got on the West Side Highway, unless it's a failed terrorist attempt. Liz.
I don't fail.
He
I
got
don't
hit by
Dude,
maybe his car got hit by an asteroid.
Maybe.
Shit happens, dude.
Dude,
Gotta
did you
watch
hear
that.
about this? That somebody caught a tomahawk in the dashboard of their car on I-95 in Massachusetts? I didn't actually read the story, but some dickhead was throwing a small axe near the highway, and it went into someone's car and stuck into their dashboard.
And he only got a $200 fine.
Yeah, well, whatever. Somebody was he should have gotten attempted murder, but he wasn't trying to murder anyone. He was just practicing his fucking nunchuck skills.
Dude,
Yeah.
I throw my tomahawk in the backyard from time to time.
Yeah, you never know when it's gonna carome off the wrong thing and go flying into the highway.
Yeah,
My bad.
Is
America, we're gonna throw tomahawks if we want.
Is
Exactly.
Is Corona a word?
It is a word. It's meant for to smaller things bouncing off of other things. So
I always
use
thought
it
it was pronounced carom.
It probably is. Novice.
I
Go
don't know.
fuck
I
yourself.
didn't know either of those words, so I'm fucking impressed.
Yeah.
I am a novice at.
I'm a novice. You make me feel one time when Oak and I were really little, we were playing this game. How old was I? 7 or something?
I don't know.
And we were playing this game, and Oak was making me feel like an idiot, as he just wants to do. And we were with some of our family members, and I got really frustrated with him, and I go, Oak, you make me feel like such a novice all the time.
That's horrible.
I was so mad. So then I attacked him with an axe, and he broke my collarbone.
I always feel, because Liz, you're so smart when it comes to grammar and language,
Mm.
and I'm not saying that in a joking form, you really are. I always get super self-conscious when I type out there the wrong way. So
Oh.
E-R-E, I'll do E-I-R, or E-Y, E-Y-R-E, or
I get stuck on-
L-M-N-O-P, and
Yeah, I don't know.
look at hope she didn't catch that.
Yeah. But the minute you a number comes up on the screen, my fucking head explodes. I know every word in the English language, but the date August 1st sent me into a fucking tailspin. Somebody tells me their phone number, and I'm like, I don't know how to do math. Stop it.
Type it into my terrorist phone.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, are you good at math?
So I do some math for my job, just being a programmer involves some occasion to use math. But I don't have a natural aptitude for it. I never did particularly well at it in school.
I'm fucking horrible at math.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder. I'm not sure if it's one of those things that maybe you just never were instructed the right way, or you never had a math experience that you got psyched about. I definitely have have been into math before. Like I've had classes that like I enjoyed, and
Well, you know what it is. I think I can study math and I can like learn formulas, but it's like the rest of my life. Like unless someone tells me you need this formula for this problem, I'm not gonna know how to do it. And that's how I pretty much am at life. Like I'll do stuff and I'm like, all right, I probably know how to do this, but someone's not telling me do this because this, and so I just like fucking like, you know.
Yeah, when I was growing up, I just had the belief, and I feel like this was perpetuated by various authority figures in my life, that like either you were good at math or you weren't.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like, I was just like, it was acceptable for me to just like suck at math because I was good at English, and I never really like understood that like, oh, I could be good at both of these things with like a little bit more effort.
right, yeah, and it's like, yeah, it's a little bit more effort and like to sort of like pursue to like when I started studying computer science, there's so much math that you have to learn that like has nothing to do with anything you'll ever do, but you still have to take like
Yeah.
you know, all these calculus and statistics classes, and I was thinking, I always thought I sucked at math, but now I have to do it, so I might as well like try to enjoy it and be good at it. And it turns out that like I kind of liked it, and it was fun, and I did fine. You know, I was never a genius at it, but I could do like pretty hard stuff.
I don't remember how to do long division. I like cannot do it.
I don't either, because when do you ever use it in your life?
I know, but it seems like easy enough because if we were doing it when we were like 6, but like swear to God, if you gave me like obviously like I know how to do like the clean ones, but like the whole remainder shit, I don't know how to do any of that.
I know, my
I don't
remainders end up. That's why I have calculators.
It's totally why I have calculators. Actually, it's funny, when I first started doing this math stuff, Amy was teaching me long division or something like that because she had to learn it for nursing because you have to like do like dosage calculations. So she got really good at long division.
Oh man, I would fuck that shit up so hard. I would kill so many people. But only in like my first couple days. I would probably stop killing people shortly thereafter. I'm starting. I have my first bartending shift tonight. I'm starting out as a bartender at the restaurant I work at now.
No way. Did you have to get licensed for it, or were you already licensed?
I mean, they don't give people on terrorist watch list licenses for anything.
You can get a license to 10 bar?
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you do.
No, you don't. No, you do not. You have to pass it's called TIPS, which is like some sort of you have to say you watched a video saying you won't give a baby 26 Manhattans.
No, you need a certificate to be a bartender. You have like
no, you do not.
I swear to God, look it up right now. There's bartending school. Like you have to get certified to be a bartender. You
can get certified to be a bartender. You don't have to. That's just something people would rather have than money as a bartender.
No, I'm assuming at your restaurant, if you're serving wine or like basic drinks, yeah, you can have someone do it. But there's bar certification. A lot of places will not hire you unless you're certified. Same thing with barbers. Yeah, you can cut fucking hair and someone will hire you to cut hair, but you need a certificate for a lot of places to say, yes, I can cut hair. I took a class in it.
But there's a different thing between like an esthetician certificate when you're having a scissors near somebody's head.
So
like
or poisoning them with fucking alcohol.
Bartendingblueprint.com has a page, bartending license, real or hoax. How do I get a bartending license? I want to be as clear as possible when I say this. There is no such thing as a bartending license in any state, period, the end. And to clarify, no, you don't need a bartending license to get a bartending job. I repeat, there is no such thing as a bartending license in any state, anywhere.
I gotta take down my fucking diploma now. I'm so embarrassed.
Totally.
Byron, I don't mean to shit on your point, but...
No, look, I'm more than happy to be wrong, but I wish I hadn't spent that fucking $400 to get my license.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm kidding.
And
I don't
start
have
licensing people.
Bar exam, right?
Yeah. Anyone who wants to join this podcast has to pay us $400 for a podcast license.
You need a podcasting license, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
You need a podcast appreciation license that costs $400 and goes directly to us.
Why the fuck do people take bartending classes then to learn how to make fucking drinks?
Because they're so dumb.
I mean, I think, you know...
The same reason...
Go ahead, man.
I mean, white people love giving other people money for things. It's the same reason I paid $125 to run 26.2 miles, because we feel like we have to pay for stupid shit.
Yeah, and it's like it seems hard, and like there's a lot to remember, and I don't know. I guess you could take a class. Like it wouldn't hurt to take a class, but Bean, you've been working in food service
That's
for
true.
a million fucking years. Like you know all
years.
you've put in and delivered all these drink orders a million times. You know what's supposed to be in them.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
Wait,
you're not like some schlub off the street.
Let's quiz Liz. Liz, Oak and I are gonna order drinks from you, and you have to tell us what goes in there. You can't make
rum and coke.
You can't
Go.
make everything. You can't make.
I don't know.
everything
I don't know. I'm choking. I don't know. I don't know that one. Next.
Vodka soda.
I don't know. Next.
White wine.
Zima.
There's white wine. I don't know.
You're so good at this. I'm glad you never-
Thank you.
I would definitely just make everyone a Long Island iced tea, because it's how I used to, like, even when I was like trying to cook as a kid, where you just like fill up the pan with a lot of shit from your fridge. You're like, oh, this is an omelet. Like anything you put in a pan is an omelet.
Yep.
Like, oh, if I put a little bit of this fucking, shoe polish, some fucking rose water.
Isn't a Long Island iced tea just like whatever, a little bit of all the booze you found in your parents' cabinet poured into a bike bottle?
Yes. Plus some outfall from the bar mat, I think, is also involved.
Right.
Liz, I'm also worried about the garnish little tray at the bar, because you're probably just going to eat that. It's all foods that you love.
You know I love tiny chopped up foods.
Yeah. You're going to be eating
I do love a marinated cherry. Better than most things.
You're going to fucking be deep-throating fucking cocktail onions, and then people are going to have you for their Tom Collins, and what the fuck?
Oh, yes.
Did you know that baby carrots are just regular-sized carrots whittled down to a tiny size?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
That's fucking horrific. I did not realize it. I mean, we probably discussed it before, but I remain offended by this. I thought there were tiny carrot farms
special
growing
baby
tiny
carrots?
Yes.
No.
Well, I thought they harvested them while they were still babies, like veal or something.
So
that's ridiculous.
Yeah, they rip the carrots out and put them in a box and break its legs.
I didn't know that. Right, I didn't know they just put them on like a lathe and like ground them down to a nub.
Wait.
Yeah, where do you think they get all the shredded carrot shit?
Damn.
That's the stuff that they don't use for the baby carrots.
Does the same go for baby
it's weird.
corn?
Baby corn is just like, that's actually baby corn, I think.
Oh.
It's like the tip of the corn cob. You know what? In the tip of the corn cob, it's like not good corn. It looks like grown weird. I think that's what baby corn is.
Really? Did you make that up?
Yes.
Because I think Brussels sprouts are actually baby cabbages, or not like cabbages that are fully grown, but they are from that like same genus or species.
Yep. Huh? It's true. And green
They're
peas are
hominids.
just tiny limes. They're just tiny limes.
They are. Yeah. I used to think that baby corn was chopped up starfish.
Just the legs of starfish.
Yeah. Some poor starfish without legs.
I used to think pneumonia and pneumonia were two different things.
Pneumonia.
So you guys want to do picks?
Ooh.
I don't know if I have one, but if you give me time to think of one, I'll go last.
Your pick can be bartending licenses.
Yes.
I will pick the book The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. It's like a fantasy book that I started recently. It's very good.
The Way of Kings.
Lots of science fiction-y, magic-y kind of stuff going on.
Cool.
Good story, great characters. I think it's the beginning of a trilogy of books. So, yeah.
Get into
For all you
it.
nerds out there who like fantasy books.
Into it.
Oh, I have a pick of the week.
I thought I had one and I forgot it.
So my pick of the week is yoga.
Oh.
Yeah, I did yoga for the second time in my life last week, and it was as hard as I remembered the first time. And my company has yoga classes on Wednesdays, and we have yoga mats and everything, and they'll take a corner of the office and kind of like section it off, and there's like 8 mats set up. And so I chose a back corner because I was like, this is where I can just kind of like be the most comfortable. And the instructor was really nice, and she like took things very basically, but like, you know, I'm just not limber. I don't have great balance, and so like a lot of the like moves are hard for me. And I have 0 upper body strength. I'm literally just like spaghetti Jello mold. And you know, people are doing downward facing dog, and like they hold it for a while, and I can do it for only so long before I like just get on all fours. And so one of my coworkers snapped a photo of the rest of us doing yoga, and she has a ton of followers, especially in our industry. And she tweeted it, and then on Friday we had our company-wide meeting. So yoga was on Wednesday. Friday we have a company-wide meeting, and our social media manager was going through like our stats for the week, and the whole company's there. And so she pulls up our Twitter feed, and because she had retweeted my coworker's tweet about yoga, and there were all these like likes and comments, and then there was this one woman who's an executive at one of our like another company in our industry. She goes, tell that guy to get the fuck out of plank and into downward dog like everyone else. And
What?
but the thing is, we were like laughing at the tweet, and then I realized it was me in the photo, and I was just like, holy fuck, like I had no idea that photo was taken. So then I was like cracking up, like I was kind of embarrassed, but not really. Like I just thought it was so funny, but it was also just like, wow, this is like, it's weird. I'm blindsided by this. So then I like went to Twitter and I like found the tweet, and then I replied to her, and I like tagged my company and my CEO and stuff, and I was like, full disclosure, wasn't trying to do yoga, I'm just breakdancing in the corner. And then she favorited it. So basically I'm licensed to do yoga now.
Nice. I hope you paid a lot of money for that license.
Yeah, I did.
Cool. I love yoga. Directly after this podcast, I'm going to go do several handstands because I'm really trying to practice them. My pick of the week is a frozen Arnold Palmer from Dunkin' Donuts.
Ooh.
Because it's so fucking delicious. And it has the amazing benefit of vanquishing hangovers. The other day, I forgot that I was 33 years old and I had like glasses of rosé and was crippled by my hangover the next day. But then I had a frozen Arnold Palmer and everything was fine.
Because you're just brain
So for those of you,
out.
yeah, it was really good.
Also-
Frozen Arnold Palmer.
So quite a juxtaposition between your first hangover, which is in MGH's car, where
Yeah.
you're fucking heat blasting,
Yep.
to your
Yep.
latest, where you're fucking brain freezing it out.
23 years of hangovers. It's all sorry.
Alright, guys.
I
All right,
love you guys.
God bless. Live,
sis.
yay!
Love you, Leah.
Bye, Leah.
Bye, Leah.
I'll get myself a bagel sandwich.